You can see that sun coming up over there. Let me see if I can zoom in. Where is it? Oh yeah, right there, right in the center of your screen. You can see it rising. Ooh, pretty quick. Isn't that incredible? Let's just enjoy this for a minute. Beautiful. Look how quick that happens. Good morning, community. It's a nice spring day here in Texas on December the 22nd, 2025. We are headed for a high in the upper 70s, and it just gets warmer from there. So I believe on Saturday we did break a record. We got up into, I think it was around 82 or something. Isn't that beautiful behind me? I sure wish that was indicative of winter, but it ain't. So the fog has cleared pretty quick. I think it stuck around maybe for about an hour. And now it's time to get busy. So today I want to talk about 4 new herbs that we're going to try coming this spring. We are really ramping up our medicinal gardening this year, and we have ramped it up with some really great books, some Native American books, some herbalist books, some herbal tea books, because we're going to get even more serious than what we already have been regarding our medicinal herbs along with our culinary herbs. First on our list is salad burnet. This was asked by one of our local folks who wanted us to try to grow this for them. Salad burnet is a culinary and medicinal herb. You can use it in your salads and drinks, and it has a slight cucumber flavor to it. It is also an astringent, aids in digestion, soothes burns, reduces inflammation, potential antioxidant. So there are many uses for this versatile herb to add to your salads or your drinks. Next is motherwort. This is a member also of the mint family. It is used for anxiety and strengthening the heart. Its scientific name means lion-hearted. It's also for menstrual cramps, guys, and it is said to aid in menopausal symptoms. So you might want to check this out, ladies, if you're around my age. Next on our list, guys, is catnip. We've never really grown catnip because we have dogs. But as we start to investigate our medicinal herbs, we want to learn as much about each of them as we can. Now, the Mohegan and the Iroquois tribes utilized catnip for its medicinal properties. They brewed catnip tea for various ailments such as colds, fevers, headaches, stomach discomfort. It's also employed as a natural remedy for anxiety and insomnia. So Native American tribes use this handy-dandy stinging nettle for a diuretic, and it supported healthy kidney function. They also used it for allergies, arthritis, skin conditions. The Iroquois used nettle to treat diarrhea, coughs, and colds, as well to stimulate hair growth. The Navajo used nettle as a traditional food source and believed it had purifying and revitalizing effects on the body. Greg picked me up some books here in the last couple of weeks on herbal remedies, healing garden. So I wanted to go over some of these with you to show you where we're getting our information. So we have the Healing Garden, and this is by Juliet Blankspore. And then we have Rosemary Gladstar's Medicinal Herbs. I understand that she is very good at what she does, and so we're excited about this one. And then growing your own tea garden, because I'm going to start to make my own herbal teas. Even though I have herbs in there right now that I can do, this gives me a lot more in-depth information. And then the Homesteader's Herbal Companion, and this is by Amy Fewell, I guess. And then this is the Native Americans Herbalist Bible, 7-in-1 companion to herbal medicine. This one has lots of great information, guys, and it goes into depth about the herbs that you're growing and how to use them. Now comes the time for my disclaimer, guys. If you're on any pharmaceuticals or you're having any health ailments, be sure and check with your doctor or do your research, your own research, to find out if any of these remedies are good and suitable for you. Now we're going to continue on with our herbal medicinal series because we think it's very important, and most of these herbs that we are growing are native here now in North America, and many of them are drought tolerant, which is what we need, and many of them grow wild and can be foraged. Another thing that we need to discuss is they need to be stratified. Stratified means they need to be put in the freezer for 2 to 4 weeks before you try to get them to germinate and plant in your seed trays. So as you start to plan your garden this year and figure out what it is you want to grow and what you think your family will enjoy, incorporate some of these medicinal herbs into it. I think that you will find it enjoyable, family fun to sit down and study the herbs, understand what they can do for you, how they help your body, how they can help alleviate fevers. I think that catnip was one of those. It will also help alleviate fevers by bringing up your temperature and help you fight any kind of infection or virus that you have going on. So medicinal herbs became a big part of our growing just in the last couple of years. We got pretty serious about it last year, but we are even more serious about it this year, and we're eager to see what we can get to germinate and what we can get to grow. Not only are your medicinal herbs good for you, but they're also good for your chickens. I've been giving my chickens comfrey about once a week because it has a lot of minerals that the chickens need, especially this time of year. So when you sit down and plan your garden, start to look up some good medicinal herbs that you and your family may want to grow. When researching your herbs, be sure and look at how versatile they can be. Like I said, many of these can be used in a tincture, in a tea, or eaten raw, especially that salad Burnett. I'm very excited to try that, especially with its cool cucumber flavor. So we are in the process of setting up our seed tables and getting our seeds going for the spring planting season. Guys, it has just come so quick, and the weather is extraordinarily warm here in Texas. So it's kind of given us the planting bug, but we still need some cooler temps to help with the insects and some of our soil. So if you're in North Texas, Central Texas, South Texas, it's time to go ahead and start planting your garden and getting some of your seeds started. Some of the ones that we've started this week are our bell peppers and our pepper varieties, because those do take a little bit longer than our other seeds, like our tomato seeds and our herbs and other things that we plant, to get going by the time we want to pop them in the ground. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. If you're new to our channel, we ask that you hit that like button and subscribe if you like what you heard. We have lots of things going on here at the farm, and we are excited to get started, although I do want some colder weather, guys. Love you guys. We'll be in touch before Christmas. See you soon. Take care. God bless, and get them seeds going.